Hi guys, it's Malina here, and welcome back to the Calm in Chaos podcast. This is our YouTube version now. So with me, I have our
My name is Cynthia Egbuleze, the Safeguarding Officer at PAU, Pan Atlantic University.
and
Amaka, Onyenokwe. I am the Gender and Inclusion Associate at Pan Atlantic University.
okay. So just to get us started, could you please tell us a little about yourselves and what your role entails in PAU?
About myself. Okay, a safety advocate, a born safety advocate, which was born out of something that happened along the line. And my role as a safeguarding officer in PAU is one of prevention and as well protection. When we talk about prevention of harm, when we talk about sexual abuse, harassment, neglect, and cyberbullying and bullying of any sort, name it, verbal, emotional, and all of it. I'm here to listen and help you go through this phase.
Okay.
Yeah, so as I said before, my name is Amaka, and I consider myself a multidisciplinary creative. My background is in architecture and design and construction, and my experience spans through media, education, design, and I think my desire to do something impactful is what kind of drove me to Pan Atlantic University, specifically for the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program. And I just thought it was a really good way to essentially give back. And my role at PAU for gender inclusion really is to maintain an environment where everyone feels safe, feels included, and I'm looking forward to, developing the program, working with the students, and creating a safe ecosystem for everyone involved.
Okay. So with that, you've even answered the second question, which was, what inspired you to take on this role? So third question is, if you can share, has there ever been like a moment where you thought that this is exactly why my role matters?
Do you mind if I go?
Go ahead.
I think today we had a very insightful, I would say, co-creation strategy session with students. And for the past few weeks, we've tried to engage with students in different ways. And we realized that, giving information in lecture style was just not cutting it. So what we did today really touched me because I had like a whole presentation and slide put together just as a guide, but we barely use that thing. We started gisting from the beginning till the end, and we even went over time. But it was just a really good way to learn from the experiences of the people that we're actually technically supposed to be working for, right? So in that moment, I felt like, one, my role made sense to me because I've been doing a lot of admin work and a lot of research and a lot of development. But hearing from the students today really just made me feel like, okay, something is happening.
Okay.
So I'd say probably today was the day that I really felt like, okay, at least my role is making sense.
Okay, for me, it was last month. I had a case with a student, and it reminded me of what happened in university. I was harassed by a lecturer. There was no voice. There was no safeguarding officer. There was nobody to talk to. There was nobody to report to. Everybody feel it's normal, right? So, but this case was not a case of harassment. But at the end of the session, the girl said, "Thank you, ma'am, for making me understand what my boundaries are." I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. I felt so at peace. She came in troubled and went relieved. So at that point, yes, I said, yes, this is it. And it gives me joy.
Okay. So this next segment is for our safeguarding officer. So what kinds of situations or concerns usually fall under your care? You've mentioned some. Can you mention more or expand on them?
Okay, so majorly it's about harassment. Basically, I mentioned prevention of harm, and this harm includes harassment, abuse of all sorts, and also bullying, because most of the thing you find in this university environment, outside bullying of different sorts, cyberbullying, verbal bullying, majorly So those things that students feel like, oh, I can just do it and go away with it. You're talking to someone that's feeling hurt and you don't care. And that is emotional harm. And that is part of why I'm here. So treating these cases, bringing it to the fore to let students know that, hey, yes, you have your mouth, but you can't use it to run down or damage other people. Emotional abuse is a crime and a sin. So once reported, it could be sanctioned and consequences. There are consequences for such actions as well.
I really understood what you said. I think that it's good to like tell people, because some people think that it's just, you can just say anything, and some people will laugh and say, oh, it's a joke, but we sometimes forget that each person has their own level of sensitivity and they can still hide it. So thank you. So for students who might not be sure when to speak up, how do they know it's time to reach out to you?
If you feel, my word is very simple for them. If you feel unsafe, any situation that makes you feel unsafe, whether from the student, from faculty, anybody at all, management, nobody is above the law. Wherever you find yourself and you're unsafe, please feel free to come into the safeguarding office and talk about it.
Okay. Hope you're heard. So what's the most rewarding part of your job?
When you see students come in shaky, feeling like, oh, I'm not seen. When I say this, nobody will hear me. And they go out empowered, like, wow, bring it on. I have who to talk to. You know, when they come in distressed and they go out empowered, that is it for me.
Okay, that's very beautiful. So on the flip side, we've talked about what was the most rewarding part of your job. What is the hardest part and how do you handle it?
Okay, I'm also a certified counselor, right? So we are born to listen. Yes, we are called the helping industry, and the helping industry. So the most difficult part is listening to students that come in with difficult situations. And in this space, you are not permitted to cry. So when you see a student break down, you hold on. You can go out later to cry in the toilet and tell God, God, what's all this? But you have to be there for that student. It's actually hard. At the end of the day, the students feel loved and go back safe. But then, on my part, I'm carrying a burden on my head that needs to be relieved. So I think that's part of it.
Okay, because when we did for our peer counseling units, when we did certain trainings, they told us that yes, there will be some times where we might feel very emotional. We should just make sure to kind of separate their problem from us, so that because we are the voice of reason that speaks without the lens of emotion that they have.
True.
So they told us that we should step out a bit and
go take fresh air.
If we need to cry, we should not cry in front, because they are looking to us as that pillar of reason. So if we are now shaken, they will feel like their problems are even more.
So how do you both? So you also technically are like a
peer
counselor, you know.
I'm getting.
So how do you manage? Me,
so every therapist have a therapist.
Of course.
Yeah. So if it's this full, I go see mine, and then let it all out. I cry, I clean my tears, I come out stronger, and I resume work.
For me, it's more of I find I can fix my own problems if I help someone with their own problems. So if they are experiencing something similar to mine, I might not exactly see that it's very similar. So I will speak to them. I will think of it from that, because I'm not feeling the emotions they are feeling towards that problem. I will tell them some advice and then I'll come back and be like, wait, that's actually the advice I needed. So I'm getting there. Thank you, Ma. So to you, our gender and inclusion officer, how would you describe your role and why is it important in the university setting?
So my role really is technically on the strategy side and partnering with, I guess, students, because they are the ones that will be technically dealing with the strategies I'm creating, and then faculty or management who's trying to do their best to implement, to make sure that everyone generally feels included and seen at the end of the day. So she's making sure that you guys are fine, but policy-wise, I'm making sure that everyone is not just being heard, but seen and being considered in in every single thing that every experience they're having, and having somebody hear what that experience is and putting it into consideration, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to say thank you as a student.
Thank you.
So, what types of challenges or issues typically come your way in this role?
Well, I haven't honestly experienced any specific challenge, just because we're developing, right? And this is a new role at PAU. So I think maybe the challenge comes with students not necessarily understanding what we're doing when it comes to gender and inclusion. But with the scholars that are coming in, one of the mandates is to have persons with disabilities and people who come from backgrounds with financial some elements of financial lack. And so in that regard, because they're coming in and coming into a new type of community and interacting with people, I think the challenges will come there, but not even just with them, but with how everyone will be interacting with and engaging with them, right? And them being in a new environment and understanding how things necessarily function and work. So these individuals may not be used to something as simple as constant power, or even maybe using or having devices technology-wise, right, to do things that they're doing. So making sure that they are first of all trained, because we're planning to do an element of what we're calling a bridging program, where they come before all the students come, so that we're like doing a little bit of teaching and grooming and like, okay, get yourself familiar with what's going on. But even outside of that bridging program is to make them feel comfortable along the way, and then also make the students who are here feel comfortable too, and be part of like making them feel welcome in a way that's not like, oh my god, look at you, you're some spectacle, but hey Paddy, what's going on? So
like giving them that extra boost.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So the challenge really is that I'm just trying to get everybody to understand what's happening without making things feel so overbearing,
like making them feel like like a major problem or a big issue you have to handle it.
Exactly. So I mean, on one hand, I'm excited, but I'm also semi-worried, because it's an element of unknown for all parties, right? I think the people that will enjoy the most are the ones that are actually coming, because it's like a new environment, so it's totally completely different. But for everybody else, it's like, okay, so now we have to kind of not adjust physically, but adjust mentally, right? Making sure that we are empathizing as well with them and not sympathizing, right? Because it's very easy to have a lens of pity, or like feel like, oh, let me help, because these are fully, mentally able people, physically able people to a certain degree, and most persons with disabilities don't want to be called out for their, whatever element of disability they have. They are, in our session today, people made comments and said things like normal people. Everybody is a person. There's nothing like normal and abnormal, right? So even just in like terminology like that, like being sensitive to knowing that you don't even want to, because imagine somebody else is on the side describing them and they're here and they're over here, just little nuances like that. I'm looking forward to finding a way to just at least inform people without bombarding people with too much information. And it's something it's not a 2-month thing, it's not a 1-year thing, it's something that will obviously take some time to develop. But I'm not too worried, because I feel like, what I've experienced so far, I've only been at PAU for like maybe 7-8 weeks now, and I personally feel welcome. I feel warm when I'm here. I feel like everyone is respectful to a certain degree, and there's also the open door policy. So I feel like today Cynthia was hot and popping. Everybody was coming to the office for today. I said, wow, this is, why are you trending today? What's going on? But I liked seeing students coming in and feeling comfortable, and wanting to actually speak to the safeguarding officer. Like, that warmed me up, in a way that somebody even sat on and waited for her. I said, wow, this is deep. And even Cynthia too, she's very thoughtful, like when they come in, she's like, I'm like, why are you whispering? Like, yeah, it's okay, it's fine. So I enjoy at least working with her. It's only been a few weeks, but I'm looking forward to constantly working as a tag team to make sure that at the end of the day, students just feel really safe and and heard at the end of the day. So
dream team.
Chop knuckle, thank you.
Actually, there was one thing you mentioned where it's like making sure that these students, you're helping them, but also not making them feel like they require so much help. So one thing my mom used to say, I'm quoting her again, because I quote her a lot. One thing my mom used to say before was, don't treat them like, the whole sympathy and empathy thing, treat them as they don't have a disability, they just have this ability. So so it's mostly like, instead of thinking it's a disadvantage, it's just a different way of doing a certain thing or something like that. So instead of making them feel like the problem, you just make them feel like, oh, they just have a different way of doing certain things. So thank you for that. So what are some practical ways that students can help make PAU a more inclusive and welcoming space?
That's a good question. To be honest, just treating people the way you want to be treated. You know, like I don't think anyone wants to be screamed at, shouted at, called out, made fun of, or, you know, made to... I mean, some people are out there, don't get me wrong, but just generally, like, being thoughtful is I guess one thing that people can embody. And that thoughtfulness comes from you first taking the time to assess the situation and like put yourself in that person's shoes, right? You may not have that person's experience, but just envision that you're possibly there and imagine how you would feel if, you know, you were in that position and someone did something a specific way. So if you just interact with them in that way, like nobody's going to come and run and open the door for you. Oh my God, please, you want to come out? Think about that. They also don't want you to run and open the door. You know, we're also making sure that the entire school we're developing a completely accessible school so that there is no need for like extra help from everybody else, you know, because they want to feel like they can just go to a class from ground floor to first floor, that kind of thing. So really just being empathetic and thoughtful. That's a really good strategy. Think about it like, what would I do if I was in that situation? How would I respond if somebody does XYZ or 1, 2, 3? That's nothing much more than that. And also, if you do see any element of, you know, bullying or just somebody else treating another individual in a way, you're not a tattletale, just go and talk to somebody. Talk to our safeguarding officer. You can always talk to me as well. Our office is fully open, and I think, you know, I'm not sure about all the other like staff or faculty, but generally I'm hearing that everybody is open and willing to like talk. So whoever you feel like you trust, just go to them and talk to them about it. You know, don't keep quiet. Don't keep quiet.
That's the reason we have mentors too. Just saying, because I feel like my mentor already knows she's like my in-school mommy. So anytime I feel overwhelmed, then I just go straight to her, and she just has, even if it's something so insignificant or little, I won't say insignificant, or anything little, I'll just go to her, speak to her, and I'll come out smiling. So it's just really good to have that person you can rely on, even though you are still learning how to rely on yourself in the whole university space where you are growing and trying to be grown-ups that people can now rely on. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So on to the next segment where your roles intersect. How do both your offices work together, especially when a student situation might touch on both safety and inclusion?
Okay, let me just talk about that briefly. When there is an element of exclusion, it leads to emotional harm. So it grabs the two offices together and will fight the war. When you exclude someone, it leads to emotional harm. Don't forget, we're here to prevent harm, and she's here for inclusion. So we're joined together to fight the war. And that's part of the place where our work intersect.
Okay, there's also, you mentioned exclusion leads to emotional harm. There's also the fact of like some emotional harm, or let's say mental state, can lead to them willingly excluding themselves from certain activities. Okay. So in your experience, what are some small or unintentional ways people can make others feel excluded? And
the one I've seen in this PAU. You see this clique forming? They form cliques, and it makes some persons feel excluded.
I'm looking at you guys. Okay.
Yes, that's the major one I've seen. You know, the rich, the high and mighty, the iPhone users, the Android users.
Like it's like that?
The Mac users, the Dell users. So these are the things I have observed, not what I read in the newspapers. Yes.
But honestly, are there also intersections as well? Like your students, like is the segregation that sharp, or are there a little bit elements of intertwined?
It's sharp and glaring.
Wait, now I said students. I said students. Let the
but I said the truth because they don't like saying the truth sometimes.
No, this is you guys speak your truth here now.
Yes.
Okay.
The segmentation can be a bit sharp. I have not experienced it. Mostly because I use both Android and iPhone.
Can you imagine?
She's in the
You're on the fence.
When they ask me, I'm just like, I have to. When they ask me, I'm just like, I have the two, don't worry. But yes, there can be some times where the segmentation is a bit like very abrupt. And there's also the thing of peer pressure, wanting to fit in, things like that. I thank God I conquered my own in high school. So I'm a bit like the way my parents just trained me and my sister and my brother, we can stay on our own. We enjoy being alone with that thing. Yes. So some of them, they might feel like they don't want to be left out, they want to fit in, or they don't want a situation where, let's give an example, where they walk into the cafeteria and there's nowhere to sit. As little or insignificant as that might sound, when you walk into the cafeteria and you see a lot of people and you have like a little bit of social anxiety,
panic.
You might panic and not know where to sit or anything. So just see like no familiar face or that kind of, or the trend of casting, where you feel like no one is a permanent friend, or you can trust this person but only to a certain extent. You can't be fully open with certain people, that kind of thing. So the segmentation can fall under different, but one thing I have learned is that for me to not put as much power into the ability to make me feel insecure, I should be able to stay on my own. And I should enjoy my own company. Then when I go there, little things like a group shifting away from me, or even if it's in class and they say pick your group members and a set of friends don't pick you, you are good. Like, okay, go to another group. Maybe the group was filled up, or in this like spur of the moment, they just exactly.
I respect you for having that like mentality, because I'm not gonna lie, when I was in university, I liked being around people. I'm not gonna lie. Like, in fact, when I saw people sitting by themselves, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Are you lonely? Why? But now,
you like your space.
I like my space.
Yes,
I like it so much. I don't want you to disturb me. We'll have a good time, and I say, okay, thanks. It's time to go now. Bye. Yes. But to be honest, I want you guys to know that segregation happens outside of school. Like, this is a regular world thing. So don't feel some type of way that in this environment or in this community there is an element of segregation. Find ways to enjoy your own company, and you will eventually find your person. I feel like that, you know. And there's nothing wrong with just going up to somebody and talking to them. And if they don't answer you, say okay, goodbye. Keep talking until you find the one that will align with you. Let me not lie to you. You don't need 20 friends. One friend is fine. I'm not going to lie. I used to have many friends before. Now I can count them on my finger. So, you know, find somebody, you know, even again, I know some people have really good relationships with their mentors, right? So there's nothing wrong with having a mentor as a friend that can go and scream with and tell them that see what people did to me today. Myself, I don't mind being your friend. You can come and talk to me. Like I said, I can count them on my hands. I don't mind adding more to my docket. But yes, segregation is something that happens everywhere, from nurseries, from pre-K to retirement home. So don't worry, you are not alone. If you don't find your person here or your people here, you will find them in the next place. So don't worry. Just enjoy, find a way to enjoy your own company. It's a superpower, trust me.
Sure.
Yeah, and also the fact of being yourself truly while you're enjoying your space, so that when you do find your people, you know that these are your people that actually accept you. It's not like they accept this version of you you've given them.
Exactly.
So that's when I feel like that's when people whenever people feel like they can't trust people to a certain extent, or they can't be as open, then they are not your people.
Yep.
So if you are yourself fully and they don't accept you, well, it's 8 billion. You will find.
Yeah,
You will
so
find at
thank you,
least
bye.
5.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thank you. So, what are some of the biggest misconceptions students tend to have about your offices and what you do?
Safeguarding the belief that I'm a police officer.
She has a gun
I
somewhere.
have a gun somewhere.
We won't comment.
Do I really
on
have
that.
a gun?
We won't comment. No comment.
Comment.
No comment.
Yes, and also they feel that before you can meet the safeguarding officer, it should be like an extreme case or an extreme issue. No. As little as that thing that harms your emotions, please come forth. Because if you're not emotionally stable, you can't do anything.
Give an example.
I
Not
used
about
to-
a specific person, but just a general, like something that you think that might be so
Okay.
small and feel small.
Okay,
but
it's a practical one, no names. So a student comes in and tell you that, okay, this lecturer feels I'm okay, but I'm letting you know that I'm having emotional issues from home and it's not allowing me study. And this lecturer said, no, go get doctor's report. So how can you get a doctor's report on something that affects your emotions? So these are part of the awareness and training that we'll give to faculty and management. You can't see these things. You can't see emotions. Physically, when somebody is sick, malaria and the likes, you can see. But when it happens to your emotions, it's worse than when you have a physical ailment. Because when you're emotionally down, every other thing shuts down. So these are part of the awareness program that will start reeling out soon to the whole of PAU community. No one will be left out, because at the end of the day, everyone will sign their safety commitments and will go through the basic safeguarding training. So when you do anything and they tell you the consequence, you won't say, I did not know. So everybody must be aware.
and this is including staff, including
Everyone,
faculty,
from
including
management
security.
to support staff, everyone will go through the training.
Yeah, because it's a holistic thing. It's not just, thinking about the students. You're thinking about everybody that's also servicing the students at the end of
yes.
the day, right? So
Yeah.
you can't be teaching one side and the other side is confused and not knowing what's going on. Yeah. In terms of gender, I think people think I'm only here to do things related to women. Which again, like, whoop whoop, go women. But I mean, inclusion is a complete thing. Like, it's a human thing. Everyone is human. Everyone deserves respect. Everyone deserves everything. Like, there's no one that's excluded from any type of situation. The reason why we have a 70% mandate to have women and women in STEM at the program is because the data shows that there are more males that are educated in the country than women. So we're trying to close that gap a little bit, which is why the percentage is so large. However, we're not considering other genders. We're not considering everybody else, right? So people think, oh, you're only here for the 80% or the 70% women, but no, we're literally
Everyone.
here for every human. We're all human.
I feel like the misconception you mentioned is also when it comes to people fighting feminism, things like that, they think of gender inequality as you pushing females, but we are just
Feminism.
pushing equality.
Exactly.
So
At
you
the end
being
of
the
day.
gender inclusion officer and there are 70% females, we're not trying to push females, we're trying to balance it out.
Exactly.
So I think that's what everyone needs to understand, that it's not just about pushing females. Because if it was the other way around, that males were the minority, we would push them and it wouldn't be called menism. It wouldn't. It's all about just balancing out the So let's say a student is feeling overwhelmed or unsure about where to go. What does taking that first step towards support really look like? Like, how do they come to you?
So you don't have to be sure of what to say. Oh, okay, when I get there, I'll just say, I'm feeling in this particular way. You don't need to put it together. Just come as you are.
Jinx.
Just come as you are. And you're good, and say it the way it is from your heart. And we're all there to listen. No formal thing. No, just come.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, I consider myself an egalitarian, which is someone who feels like everyone is equal. And so in that equal mentality, I'm also okay accepting people for who they are in that moment, because we're all different in different seasons of our lives, right?
Sure.
One day you can be very confident, and the next day you can be so shy and removed, and in all those instances, or in all those, I guess, mental situations and states, we are here for you. Like, it's not a cliche, honestly. And two of us are new, so we're fresh. We're not tainted by whatever is going on. We're literally just here for you. So our doors are open, even more open than everybody else. If you see us walking down, come and talk to us. If you see us going home, that's fine as
Anywhere.
well. You have access to our numbers directly. You can always call. If you don't want to call, text. If you want to do FaceTime. Like, we're super, super available. So, yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of the joint segment. One more question. Are there any programs or initiatives currently running that students should know about or participate in? I know that the guidance counseling unit wants to do a wellness fair this Friday.
Yeah.
Are there any other ones? Because people in PAU think that there are not many activities that go on to bring them out of their rooms. But then again, when there are some activities, we have to drag them out of the room. That's besides the point.
That's the issue.
So, are there any activities or programs that are coming up that will encourage them to join in?
As of right now, we've put together a team of, we're calling them inclusion ambassadors, and we will essentially develop exciting things and activities. No, it's the truth, because you guys are gearing towards exam period right now, so we don't really want any shift in focus. So we're really trying to work towards making sure that come next semester, like, it's going to be rolling out, and it's not coming from us, it's coming from you guys. So if you also have ideas, suggestions, like, feel free. Like, I don't know, people have to leave comments and stuff leave comments. Come to us directly, send us an email. I guess we're not putting our emails publicly. Come to us, we'll find you. And share ideas with us. But we're essentially working on things right now, so nothing as of yet.
Okay. So, final questions. If you could leave students with one sentence or message to carry with them after this conversation, what would it be?
Silence is a killer. Speak up. Your voice matters. Your every point is valid, irrespective of what it is. Wherever you find yourself feeling unsafe, please speak up. Not just yourself. It might be someone else. You might see somebody bullying another person. Don't keep quiet. If you see something, say something, because safeguarding is everybody's business.
I feel like people think, going back to what you said about people think, oh, you're like a police officer. People just, when they hear safeguarding, they think safe. So they think you have to be in danger to go to you. And then any little thing can be dangerous. It doesn't have to be some big thing that calls for securities and police officers. So, hope you're fed. So, do you have anything?
Yes, I wrote my own down. Don't be angry. You belong here. And your presence, your voice, and your story matter, honestly, more than you know. Like, you are whole, you are full, you are special, regardless of whatever that's going on with you. And we're here for you.
Thank you. So finally, how can students get in touch with your offices, and what should they expect when they do?
Yeah, go ahead.
So for the safeguarding office, you can send an email, safeguardingoffice@pau.edu.ng. You can also walk into our office. It's a very spacious place that accommodates everyone. Come in at any time. If we're not in the office, you can reach us online. Yeah, but just do a mail. and the response is like ASAP. I can assure you. All matters sent are treated with urgency.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Same. You can send an email to the safeguarding email. You can go to the Student Affairs office to look for my email, because I will not put that out publicly. You can send me a message, send me a WhatsApp, send me an email. Like anything that you're comfortable with, just let me know, and we'll be there. I'll be there for you. And our office is on the for the first floor, in the executive wing, beside the Benin classroom. Yeah. So if you're walking towards the Benin classroom, Benin is on the right. Just go
beside
straight.
Accounts office.
Exactly. Beside the money.
Everyone knows Accounts office.
Yes. And our names are on the door, so you want Cynthia and Amaka. Yes.
Okay.
And don't call me Ma, please. Officially, guys, don't call me Ma. My name
I'm
is Amaka.
Cynthia, and she's Amaka.
Okay. So thank you, Miss Cynthia. Thank you, Miss Amaka.
You're
I am
welcome.
Malina Honora,
Thank
your
you,
host,
Malina.
and we are officially done. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Really, please rotate it.
Exactly.
Be sharing it,
Exactly.
and
Press the
also
button.
listen. Yeah, and also listen to our podcast, Calm and Chaos, on Spotify. Bye.
Bye.